Good morning, everybody. Rabbit, good morning. Lance Cadena, good morning. I thought I saw AZ Drone Dude in here earlier. Uh, Maybe not. Mela, good morning. Hope everybody's weekend has started out well. I hope you enjoy. If you were in for my sunrise and Dennis's sunrise, I hope you enjoyed it. And Mela, you sure put Dennis through the ringer this morning, girl. I'm telling you, man, you were brutal. Hey, Dominic.
Yeah, good evening.
So you didn't wear your voice out this time, huh?
I did wear it out, but when you win, it doesn't matter. And I'm just waiting for Tim Jackson to get into the chat because he adopted a club in our competition, and we beat them.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so a bit of roasting coming up because he was roasting me earlier today, saying, "Oh, his team's going to win." They didn't.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Ronnie, it was kind of cool how the sun was shining on the water
Yeah,
underneath the clouds, man. That was pretty cool. So, but anyway, so your team won, huh?
Yes, my team won. We
Yeah,
beat the
good
top.
deal.
We beat the top team.
Beat the top team.
Yep, the team that's
Cool.
on top of the ladder, and we beat them.
Is that the one Tim had adopted?
Yep.
Oh man, that's crazy. Huh. I noticed that it says live time is got a red square around it and is highlighted in blue now. That's different.
Yeah.
They must have made an improvement.
Oh, they have changed a couple of things.
Yeah. East Coast Thrills, good morning. God bless America. Good morning. AZ Drone Dude. He said hi at 7:09 this morning, so he probably went back to sleep. He's out there in Arizona, man. They're like 2 hours behind us.
Yes. I want to think.
Lance? Did I get everybody? I think I did. 3 hours. Lance is 3 hours behind us. Is Arizona 3 hours behind us too? I thought they were mountain.
Let me have a look.
Peter.
Good morning, Rodney. Morning, Dominic.
Hi, Peter.
Good evening. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, doing pretty well, thanks.
And here
the other thing I must say, Peter, it's great to see you're putting out some videos now.
I wouldn't count on it lasting for long, though. That's only just messing around a bit.
Yeah, but it was good to see.
Yeah. Hey,
Hi,
everybody.
Dennis.
What's up, Dennis?
Tired. How you doing?
I bet. Yeah. Mela just put you through the ringer this morning.
I've been through. My goodness, she has always come up with challenging stuff.
But I guess she wasn't completely alone. There was a couple of people put up some challenging songs for you.
That's true. It's going to be fun to go through, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. It will be fun to go through those and
I do have a question for you. You mentioned on that song Signs, you mentioned that the radio version wasn't like the version you sang.
No, what I sang was like the radio version. What I read, however, was foul.
Oh, because I don't think I've ever heard any other version of that.
You got that right,
radio version.
Yeah, I'm just going to look that up. And
yeah, good morning to all in chat.
Yes, good morning to all in the chat. Yeah. 2520. No, that's not it. Signs lyrics. There we go. So
who did that song? Who did the Signs song?
Who did that song? That was Zager and Evans. No,
Okay.
Signs was done by Five Man Electrical Band.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so
Um,
there's a Sign song sang by Tesla. Oh, yeah, I don't think that's the original version.
This time when I did a search, I found the original version, the one that I'm used to. But yeah, it was pretty bad. Anyway, I'm going to get my coffee cup. I thought I had it, but I don't.
Man, well, I've got it right here, and you're right.
Is that the one that goes sort of signs everywhere with signs and that sort of stuff?
Everywhere a sign.
Yeah, that's the one I remember. Not sure if there's any different ones.
Signs everywhere. There's signs.
A little bit.
Blanking up the scenery, breaking my mind.
Yeah. Do this, don't do that. Can't you read the signs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that word appears over and over and over again. And
It does. It's
not necessary. That's a very good song without it.
every version. It's in the chorus of the whole song.
Not just the chorus, though. It's also other places. Anyway, I'm not going to dwell on it. It's a good song without that stuff.
Yeah, it is. Well, So yeah, I'll never listen to that version. It's amazing how people can take a great song and turn it into something.
I know. Oh, well. Maybe they added something musically that is fantastic. Could be. I'm not going to go find out.
Neither am I. Neither am I.
All right.
So yeah, I was wondering what you were talking about because you sang it just like I remembered it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know
Thankfully
that somebody had made a remake of it. And
thankfully they didn't modify the words too badly that I couldn't follow it. So it's fine. Yeah.
Curtis,
thank you, Ronnie. That's if your friends can't abuse you, you're very right. And it's abuse that I really need. So I get too comfortable in my look at what I can do. Look what I can't.
He also says you'll never be a failure in our eyes. I can't
I
say
saw
what
that.
happens
Thank you,
when
Ronnie.
we're not looking though. Ronnie, you need to speak for yourself, buddy.
That's true. That is true. Our eyes is a loose term.
No, I think he's right. I don't think I can't imagine any one of us thinking of you as a failure. A little
Nice.
weird, maybe, but never a failure.
Yeah, definitely weird.
We're all a little weird in our own ways.
Yep, he is.
We love you, Dennis. Thanks for the $5. You're welcome, Ronnie.
Money well spent. If you ask me.
A little. Warren says a little weird. Okay. So I'm trying to be a little. What's the word I'm looking for?
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
But
kind.
If Warren probably speaks closer to the truth than I did.
Always.
My little Navy now has a real boat. Oh, cool.
All right.
Oh, there you go.
Man.
So his Navy has been ROVs as far as I know until this day.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to warn the U.S. Navy about the Curtis Stark Navy.
Yeah,
They
has
can
to
start
roll.
developing weapons against it.
He has to roll it around, but it's still a boat.
So So I know what Dom did today. Dennis,
Yep.
what did you do today that was, yeah, Dennis, what did you do today? What are you going to do today that's interesting?
Oh gosh, that's interesting. I don't know. I have squash I probably picked today. I should show you my squash. I've talked about them many times. I don't know
You have.
how good my signal is. If I lose you, I'll return. But these they're called luffa squash or Chinese okra, because the Chinese people tend to eat them, whereas the people from other nations tend to wait until they get bigger and then they are sponges. Interestingly enough, so, or I think so. Anyway, hi Fishies. You guys can talk about whatever. I'm just on a little journey here.
I'm looking up something right now. I want to show you guys. This is something my wife found in her garden today. In all my days, I've never seen anything like this.
Well, I'm anxious to see what that is. A cucumber.
That is a cucumber that
That's
grew together.
That's a pickling cucumber, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
I've forgotten what kind. This one's ready to pick.
I don't know what kind of wow, look at that.
Okay.
Yeah, monster, huh?
Yeah, that does look like an okra.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they call it that.
I love fried okra.
Yeah, this doesn't taste anything like that, but it's very, very good. I got a few of them growing. This one here, and there's one I can barely see from here. Anyway, yeah, I got eggplant right there. A few of them. My cucumbers used to live right there, and they looked a lot like what you just showed, Rodney.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they didn't do that well this year, and they're gone now. Those are my peppers. Those are sweet banana peppers.
Ah.
Anyway, that's it. Okay, that's enough farming for today. Welcome. We'll return you back to the Rodney Bell drone channel now.
Farming tips with Dennis Lovelady.
Yeah, you don't want that. That guy should look vaguely familiar.
Lance said he's picked cucumbers as a kid, so he's seen them all. I bet.
Yeah, whatever kind of cucumbers we had this year looked just like that. And the reason for that, I usually get slicing cucumbers, which are very sweet. But this year I was tardy because my seeds never made, so I went out and bought a plant from Pike's Nursery, and actually 3 plants. But they made cucumbers that looked a lot like that.
So, sorry, I was distracted. It's easy for me to get distracted nowadays.
I can't imagine why.
But anyway, yeah, she's growing some tomatoes that I've never seen tomatoes grow like this. Hang on, I'll be right back. You guys talk amongst yourself.
Yeah, we'll talk
I
amongst
want to say
ourselves.
good
Not
morning
worried
to
about
JSK Enterprises. Is he in here? I saw his
Here's our
name
tomato.
out.
That's all that's left of our tomatoes. After
Okay.
those are gone, they're all gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back, guys.
Got a few apples here too, Dennis.
Yeah, those are from the store.
Okay.
I'll be making juice later today.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a in our weekend newspaper here, we have a quiz there that I do. I do it every day of the week with a mate of mine, and in the weekend ones they have one little section there where they give you lines from songs, just about one line from a song, and you have to guess the name and who did it.
Oh, let's play that game.
They give you 6 of those. Yeah.
In all my days, I've never seen a tomato that looked like this.
Oh, wow.
And she's got a whole plant that's growing.
Wow. Nice.
My wall is falling down.
I think that partition wanted a closer look, Rodney.
I think so. But anyway, I've never seen tomatoes that grow like this.
So what's the name of that? Do you know?
I have no clue.
Are they sweet, sour?
No, they're sweet.
Huh. Nice.
What are they all the same as that, or is that only a one of?
She's used them on hamburgers and stuff. So.
Okay.
So can you give me 6 lines, Peter? And we'll see how we do on the panel.
I haven't got them with me at the moment. They're on the iPad downstairs, so I haven't got them with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be a fun game. I would enjoy that game.
Yeah, they give you one from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, the 2000s and 2010s.
What's that?
Just a
He's-
little.
When you were away, he was talking about a game that he played with his friends.
Oh,
Yeah.
They give you a line from a song, and you're supposed to guess what the song is.
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, some of them are easy. Some of the most of the later ones I don't know, but a lot of the 60s and 70s ones I know.
Rodney says, "Ever feel like the walls are coming in on you, Rodney?"
Yeah. Sometimes I do.
Now you understand why. Because they are.
They are. You know how long I've had that
Partition.
partition? Yeah. I bought that when I first started doing live streaming.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
2018.
It's also known as a screen.
Yeah. And I like it. I like it because it looks like a shoji. You know, the Japanese doors.
Oh, yeah.
It does. Yeah.
I think they're called shojis, aren't they?
Probably.
So,
I
but
don't,
anyway.
I don't know. I don't know that word. But sounds right.
I can probably look it up.
I absolutely could look it up if I wasn't so darn lazy. Shoji no isu wakarimasen. I don't know what that means.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I can't. I don't know why it's.
All right, I'll get my dictionary.
Let me try it a different way. Yeah, this is crazy. All right, well, it's not a big deal.
For those that don't know, when I met my wife, we were in Japan. She is Chinese. I'm American. And she was learning Japanese, and so was I. And so when I met her, it was I don't know how to describe, but anyway, I was very infatuated with her and she with me apparently. So anyway, we used this pretty much to communicate all the words that we didn't understand. I had this in my pocket all of that time.
Wow.
And, yeah. Anyway, this is my English Chinese, or it's English to Japanese, Japanese to English dictionary, and I can't read it with my glasses anymore. But anyway, shoji. Shoji.
So what is in the glass tonight? Just plain water tonight?
No.
Soft stuff.
You're disappointing me there, Peter.
I ran out of the wine.
Wow. Who are you and what do you do with Peter?
That's right. And what have you done with Peter Carroll? Shoji.
That's my evil twin.
Yes, shoji is a paper door, Rodney. You were correct.
Okay.
Oh, okay, good. How's it spelled?
S-H-O-J-I in Romanji. Yes, it's I don't know if
S-H-O-J-I-N?
No. Shoji. S-H-O-J-I.
Oh, okay.
Right there above my finger. It says paper door.
Yep. All right. So
I can't make it focus. Apparently can't make it focus any better than right there.
that you're fine. I got it.
Actually, it's not shoji. It's shoji.
Okay.
The O is longer than that.
Shoji.
Shoji. It matters because I didn't see shoji,
So
a word like that, but it matters in Japanese.
Shojin.
Every character is a beat
Okay.
in Japanese. So shoji.
So
That's two
Shojin,
O's.
S-H-O-J-I-N, according to Google Translate, means first person in Japanese.
Wow. No, this is just S-H-O-J-I. Actually, look at S-H-O-O-J-I. That would be more correct, but it's never written like that.
S-H-O what?
O-J-I.
Yeah, that's how I put it in, and it doesn't.
No, S-H-O-O-J-I.
Oh, J-O.
S-H-O-O-J-I. You know what? I'm just being lazy.
So it comes up as uncles.
Yeah, just looked it up in my Apple dictionary up here, and it says a sliding out or inner door made of a lattice screen covered with white paper.
When I did a Google search for Japanese S-H-O-O-J-I, first thing says Japanese shoji screen. Place your Amazon order.
Yep.
Well, let me do it that way.
Japanese S-H-O-O-J-I.
Okay.
Japanese.
Yeah, this dictionary got us through a lot.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
You're right. It does come up for Amazon. There's even a way you can learn to make your own.
All right.
You could print one, Rodney.
All I had to do was go to Wikipedia. Shoji.
Yeah.
A shoji is a door, window, or room divider used in traditional Japanese architecture, consisting of translucent or transparent sheets on a lattice frame. Blah 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah. Does it say rucka, rucka, rucka in there anywhere?
Yeah, actually, it does about 3 sentences down.
Rucka, rucka, rucka.
Just after watch you.
That's right. Yeah.
So Dennis,
all right, there's your
is there a
Japanese
big
lesson for today?
is there a big difference between Chinese and Japanese as
Oh yeah.
far as the languages go?
The Japanese character set though, the words that they use. Let me put it this way: a Japanese person can read about 90% of Chinese language with fluency. A Chinese person can read about 60% of Japanese words with fluency.
Okay. So they use a lot of the
Japanese have
same
a lot
symbols.
The Chinese have no, what's the word I want? The verb tenses and what is that? Their words don't have a tense
Okay.
or a sense of male or female. Like the French, every noun is a male noun or a female noun, right? A boat is a female, and that's about as what that extends that's my extent of knowledge of French. But anyway, in Chinese they don't have any of that, and they don't have any sense of tense either. You know whether something happened in the past or in the present by the context in which it's used. In Japanese, they append to words. Those pretty much go, went, gone, right? There are three different words for us. But in Japanese, it's one base word with things added to the end for go, went, and gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And they also have three forms of writing.
They do. Katakana, hiragana, and romanji.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a
Romanji
film
is
that
what you and I,
Jumanji, that was a good film.
S-H-O-J-I.
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah. Good point.
That's what we would understand, and that's written for the Western world's convenience, by the way. Just they call it romanji for a reason.
Right.
But katakana tends to be words that are foreign to the Japanese language.
Like my name, I can write it in katakana, and but there's no word for it in kanji.
Right.
With
Right.
kanji is like the Chinese characters.
That's correct.
Look a
Kanji
lot
is
like
the
that.
Chinese characters.
Huh?
This is a fact. Kanji is the Chinese characters.
So yeah, but
Yeah.
it was all pretty interesting. And hiragana, too many shapes.
There's only
Well, too many curves. Let me put it that way.
no, I've forgotten. 57? I think it's 57 characters in the hiragana and katakana.
Oh yeah.
Hiragana and katakana, they're only like 57. I think it's 57 characters, right? But then there's the kanji, which is the Chinese stuff,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
So, hang on a minute.
How many hiragana characters are there? Good question. How good is my memory? "46. So if you learn those 46 characters, you can write anything so that the Japanese person can pronounce it, but that you can't necessarily get a meaning from the pronunciation.
Right. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this, but I'm going to share this.
Hmm.
And then nobody probably really cares, and that's okay. I care, but
Are you forgetting what show this is, Rodney?
so there's my name in
Roji.
katakana.
Yeah, Rojini. Actually.
Rodani.
Rojini. And that dash there, that's the same thing you would see for shoji. I said it's a
Right.
it's a
It makes
longer-
it longer.
Correct.
Rodani.
Right.
Yeah.
I just think that's interesting. That's all.
Yeah, Rojini.
Here, hang on. Let's
Denisu.
Denisu. Dominicu.
Dominico, yes. Pita.
Oh,
Pita.
Pita. See that? Both of those are long. Pita.
okay.
Let's see. Let's oops.
Right, yeah.
Let's try
Mansu.
Lance's name.
Mansu.
Ransu. That almost actually sounds like Lance.
Yeah, Lansu.
Except they can't pronounce the L sound. Let's see who else is here. Okay.
Put in Akaresho.
Rani.
Ronnie. Yeah.
Akira.
There we
Akira.
go.
If you look at his videos, those just type Akira. There you go. Those 3 characters are at the beginning of his videos.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I do remember seeing those. All right, who else we got in the?
Oh, Alex has just joined.
Now that looks like Mala.
Mala. Yeah.
You need to type Meila to get Mela.
Type what?
Mei.
L.I.
There you go. That would Meila.
Try Alex's name. Good morning, Alex, by the way.
Alekusu.
Cool. And let's see. Curtis.
Oh, that one Katesu.
Katsu.
Yeah. You wouldn't understand if somebody called you, hey, Katesu.
Well, that's why I tell people I've been called names in 13 different languages.
Katesu.
All right. Okay. So that's our Japanese lesson.
There you go.
Very good.
So anyway, yeah, we got another visiting preacher tomorrow, so I got to go out to the church sometime today and download the slides and get it ready for our live stream. That is so weird.
It is. You don't know what kind of tomato that is, though, huh?
No, I'll ask her if I think of it. I'll ask her when she comes home from work.
Yeah.
And then I'll text you what it is.
Yeah.
But they're all. That's how they grow. They grow wrinkled like that.
So how productive is the plant?
Pretty good. Pretty productive. I mean,
Really?
Had
is it still
several.
going?
Huh?
Is it still going?
Yeah, I believe so.
Wow. Ours are gone.
Johnny Jonefly in the house.
I think the heat got them. We haven't reached 100 yet this year at all, but we've been very, very close. So
we've gotten up to I think the highest I've seen it is 105, but I think that's because my truck was sitting in a parking lot all day.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because once I started, it dropped back down to 90, but even so, it's still pretty hot.
Oh, yeah. The humidity has a lot to do with it. So, yeah.
They used to think tomatoes were poisonous. I didn't know that.
Yes, they did. All nightshades, tomatoes and cucumbers, and there are several in that family. Any squash is in the nightshade family. They call it nightshade because it was poisonous.
Really?
Yeah.
And they say that it actually was poisonous until a time. And then it became non-poisonous for whatever reason. If you look up the history of tomatoes, it's kind of fascinating, the history of tomatoes and nightshades.
in nightshades. Dennis, you froze, brother. Oh, there you.
I'm frozen.
But
No,
not
you did for
anymore.
about a second.
I see
Yeah,
that.
you
Though.
were only frozen
Wow.
for about a second or two.
Yeah, more than that. Interesting. I'm trying
Hi
to
to
figure
Johnny
out what
Dronefly.
Johnny.
your.
Johnny's here.
Oh, yeah. This is my book of how to fall in love. There you go. Everybody needs one of these. You fall into serious permanent love. There you go. So, works for two of us anyway.
Well, I could have certainly used one of those when I was in Japan. I don't know why I didn't get one. The Navy Exchange sold them.
Yeah, this is a particularly good one. I don't know how I happened to. I just went into a bookstore and told them what I need, and they said, "Well, this one's pretty good." Turned out they were correct. This one was really has not failed me.
Well, good. That's probably good for you and your wife.
Yeah, I wish I could think of that word. It's common to grammar. It's a grammar word about verbs and tenses and past imperfect and past perfect and all those.
Yeah, now you're talking Greek.
Well, yeah.
Not Greek, it's English.
I
All languages
I
have
avoided
grammar.
English as much as possible.
All languages have grammar, and
Mm.
that grammar has to do with. Boy, these words are small. Maybe it's in here. No, actually, it goes right
Remember
into.
that movie Shogun with the James?
Yeah, sure.
James, what's his?
James
I remember the
Clavell.
book series. I didn't see the movie.
Oh, you didn't see
Clavell?
so they had a mini TV series back in the
Yeah.
80s.
Oh, okay.
And while I was watching it, I mean, it's one of my favorite shows. But then the book, I've read the book like 8 times.
Mm-hmm.
But it was interesting because the way that Mariko was teaching John Blackthorne how to speak, it seemed like it made it really simple.
Mm.
But that's not how I learned. I learned by trial and error.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
hope
you
we're
said
enough
something
that-
wrong when the person you're trying to communicate with gets red-faced and angry with you.
Mm.
I hope we didn't upset Warren at the show. He's out of here. If I upset you, Warren, it was absolutely not intentional.
Hey, Warren, you have a good day, brother. Yeah, I hope we didn't offend you.
My notes.
So, Rodney, your FPV drone's got a broken arm.
Not anymore.
Okay. All fixed?
All fixed. I happen to have 3 extra arms for that particular drone.
Oh, that's good.
So I got it fixed. It works. In fact, I've got a video that I made. I flew on Thursday, and I flew it. It was one of my longest flights ever. It was an 8-minute flight,
Wow.
and it flew just fine. So I got one more part to put into it, and it should be complete 100% as it was when I bought it.
Right.
Michael Blade, good morning. Don, Mudball Creative, good morning.
Trouble.
Hey, everybody.
So,
Yeah, I actually fired up my old Tello drone the other day.
did you?
Nice.
Yeah, first time it's been run for probably, I don't know, maybe 3 years or so.
Well,
I
didn't
forgot
know
about
you
my
had an
fellow. I
Autel
put it in the
drone.
back of that closet there.
Yeah,
It still works. That's a good thing.
yeah, all the batteries charged up and connected all up all right. So, yeah. Flying it around the house here. Only crashed it once, so that wasn't too bad.
Well, yeah. Flying it in the house could probably be kind of dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, those things are so tiny. They only weigh about 90 grams, and it's got prop guards on it,
Oh,
so it doesn't really do any damage.
I see. Okay.
Just drops on the floor and pick it up again.
Yeah, I had one of those really small drones that a friend bought me for Christmas one time, and I took it outside to fly it, and it was kind of breezy, and I wasn't thinking about the wind affecting it,
Yeah.
and man, it flew like crap. I mean, I
Yeah.
could if I turned into the wind, there was no going forward. It was all
Yeah.
so. I haven't flown it since, but
Yeah.
it was fun to learn on.
Yeah, I bet.
Flew it in the house quite a bit. Oh, so Johnny Drone Flyer flew some big toy playground gaps yesterday, huh? Are you saying Johnny did that, or you did that, Lance?
I think he did.
I think he's saying that he did, but he's
Yeah,
saying
that's
Johnny
what I
that he
think
did.
too.
Yeah.
I like that big toy. That's the only playground toys that have flown through are the ones that are at the church, and those are made of wood, and still I only go through the bigger ones. When I was flying my little whoops, which I don't fly anymore, I could fly amongst us in around the smaller gaps, but I'm too scared to do it with my 5 inchers or my 3.5 inchers for that matter.
Yeah.
But that arch on the church sign, I'm getting real comfortable flying through that.
Yeah, I've noticed that they seem to get through pretty well first time. That very little slowing down. You sort of
I'm
go
sorry?
straight through it. You don't seem to slow down very much coming up to it. You can sort of get straight through it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I still have my moments where I'll tend to pull up, slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of times Thursday that I just went without even thinking about
Yeah.
it, and then I'd get through it. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe I just did that without crashing. And believe me, when I crash into that thing, I'm hitting brick. So
Yeah.
8 out of 10 times, maybe I'll break something.
So Lance, I just diverted to your Insta 360 Puerto Vallarta Marina Walk. Nice. You know those young ladies?
Wow. Hang on a minute.
What's wrong, Rodney?
I want to show you this.
Ah,
This is the video Lance is talking about. I'm going to share it with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
oh my! You flew the Avata through that? Nice.
But his friend crashed.
Someone missed.
Ooh, ouch.
And of course, Lance has got to rub it in by repeating it.
Yeah.
Nice.
How
I mean,
did
the capture is great. You must have done that capture with a 360.
how did that Avata hold up, Lance?
Wow. Looking at that truck.
Mhm.
Oh, is there more?
He brushed it off and it flew right away.
Oh, good deal.
Mm.
I suppose it
Good.
didn't have far to fall there where it was.
Well, most playgrounds nowadays are made of that soft foam, so maybe that helped.
Oh, is that
Plus,
right?
it had those bumper pads on it too.
Hmm.
So it's a good deal. Yes, the black soft playground.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's cool.
I don't know about that.
Well, let me since we're showing videos here.
I got nothing to show.
Mm.
I just remembered I was supposed to post from the South Florida Drone Meetup. That's been 6 months ago now, by the way. No, it hasn't. It's been 3.
Yeah.
Almost 6.
4.
This is the 4th month, but it's like 3.5, right? Oh no, you're right. It was April the 1st.
I thought it, April the 1st.
It has been 4 months. I was thinking it was late April, but it was April 1st.
It's April 5.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, Ron
Hey,
Lockwood.
Ron.
So,
Hi, Ron.
so here was Thursday.
Oh,
That was the takeoff.
wow.
Now let's see. Is this where I go through the gap the first time? I don't think so. I came in too high. But let me get to where I go through the gaps.
Yeah, too high. Go around. You do a go around.
So how you doing, Ron?
No, just waking up. Believe it or not. This is sleeping in for me.
Yeah, he's
There
on
we
the
go.
right angle now. Yes.
Woo!
Done. Done and dusted for another
So how
one.
many times did you hit the side of that before you went through it?
The first time I tried it, I bullseyed it and went right through. I was so proud of myself. And then the next
Oh,
time I
yeah.
came around, and that I hit it the second time I tried to go through. I actually hit the arch.
Yeah. Take off and go around again.
Too high there.
Yeah. We're gonna go around. Going nicely.
You know, I don't know anything about it. I've never flown FPV at all, but I didn't think they had the kind of range that I'm seeing, in these videos. You can go pretty darn far with those things, can't you? I mean,
You can nowadays. They've improved the the receivers and the radios that much, or so much that you can get long range now. Like on 4 of my drones, I put in a TBS tracer receiver, and I'm using a TBS tracer transmitter.
are those Greek things?
And
Are those Greek things?
yeah. yeah, Greek things, and that increases my range quite a bit. But see, I don't particularly care to fly long range.
Well, no, it's just going behind buildings and so on. That's a challenge if you can't go far, right? So,
Right. Well, you need to be able to penetrate. So, and
yeah.
that's what digital has over analog.
Oh, digital penetrates that stuff better than
Yeah,
than analog does.
it does.
Wonder why that is. Frequency,
Power, I guess. I don't know.
strength, yeah.
I guess those were the only couple of times I went through there. I thought there was like 4 times I went through it, but maybe not. No, because I'm coming in for a landing here.
Well, once would do it for me. So
And my landings are getting a little bit better too.
hey, I know that guy.
Yeah, I don't know who he was, but he
I
needs.
know him.
He
So
does.
familiar.
He needs to quit sitting there looking like a lump on the log.
Yeah.
So, Ryan, how you doing, brother?
Good. Had a good week. Went up in the mountains Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Yeah, I saw some of those pictures, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was beautiful up there. Wednesday, I come home. Thursday morning, I went over to Hobby Lobby, and I picked up. Here, let me send this to you, Rodney. The back in April when we had the Northern Lights at Devil's Tower, I had this print enlarged. It's an 11 by 14 print. The matting and framing is 16 by 20. I've got 3 of them sold already, but I put it up in my house. There's been a spot in my living room that I've been waiting to get the Wyoming picture. But if anybody's interested, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of $150 plus shipping. The matting and framing is not cheap. The picture was cheap. The matting and framing is not. I used an old barnwood frame. Yeah, it turned out pretty cool.
Yeah, that does look pretty cool.
Wow, nice.
Wow.
I wonder if there's a way I can zoom it. I guess not.
Yeah. Okay.
But the lady kept all the spec, the item number of the barnwood frame, and her and I sat and I kind of said, I let her. I said, I'm going to let you take the reins as far as matching the colors of the matting.
Yeah.
Look, the double matting, triple matting. We went with the double. I thought it turned out really nice.
I like it. Yeah,
But I was on my way out.
I like the sign right you got above it too. It's almost fitting.
Yeah, well, I've had that sign there for like over a year, waiting for a Wyoming photo.
And there you have it.
There we have it. But I was on my way out.
Hey, Captain Joe in the house. Good morning.
Hey, Captain Joe.
I had a store clerk stop me and said, "Everything all right, sir?" And I'm like, "Oh, everything's fine." I'm standing there giggling at something in the Rodney, tell me if I'm out of line by reading this, but it's funny as hell. There's a big sign like Hobby Lobby. You can buy all kinds of cool stuff in there. But it was a thing called the 5 deadliest terms used by a woman. And when they say the word fine, it says,
That's not good.
this is a word. This is a word used. This is the word used when a woman says time to end an argument, and she knows she is right, and you need to stop talking. Then there's the word nothing. That means something, and you should be worried. Like I said, I'm sitting there reading this, and I'm laughing, and people are like, "This guy okay?" When she says, "Go ahead," do not confuse this with permission. It's a dare, and don't even think about doing it. If she says whatever, that's a woman's way of calling you an idiot. If she says that's okay, she is thinking long and hard on how and when you will pay for this. And then the bonus word is wow. This is not a compliment. She is amazed that one person could be so clueless. Like if you could picture me standing in this store reading this and just laughing my tail off. Is that okay?
You know, and the thing is, people laugh at that, but it's all true. It's fact. It's fact. I mean,
I asked a couple of women this weekend. I'm like, how much of this is true? They're like, oh yeah.
Fine.
I'm sure glad my wife's at work.
I think the best one is when she says, "Well, just go ahead. This is not to be confused with permission." There, so don't even think about doing it.
So, anyway, guys, I gotta excuse myself a minute. You guys talk amongst yourself.
Yeah,
I get it.
easily.
Well, this is my last full-time weekend up here. The boss notified me, and I had switched over to part-time status. So we'll see how that works out.
Mm-hmm.
We just lost another pilot yesterday. Quit.
Wow.
We're down 2 pilots, 2 medics.
Wow.
Staffing's not good.
Mm.
Do they pay those pilots well?
Mm.
Yeah.
No. So I don't know how much part-time work is going to be available up there.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, they're just not, Peter. They're not paying them well enough, and these guys are going to the airlines. Their first year, they're going to take a loss. The first year.
Yeah.
After that, yeah. So. And we
Yes,
have
I suppose they'd spend quite a bit of their time just sitting around doing nothing, wouldn't
they? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do that at the airlines too, It's a lot of sitting around. But I have one of our pilots. I really miss him. He was a good guy. But I understand he didn't leave the money. He actually lost too. He said it'll be about 2 years before he can recoup. But he works for a company that primarily transports like military personnel and equipment. He is going all over the world. So that, the opportunity to go and see the world on a company dime and be even paid for it. Like he texted me the other day. He was in Iceland.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was part of what I loved about my job.
Yeah.
But it was mostly United States. But I did get to go to Japan for some time and to Spain for a short time. And that's it, I guess, internationally.
So what exactly did you do, Dennis?
I was an IT guy. I had special skills in AS400 mid-range IBM machines, and so that's why how good are we? We're 2 minutes late. That's what got me to those special places.
I like what Captain Joe says. I had one of the senior high school sports trainers tell me I had too many drones. I told her that's why I don't have a wife, so I don't have to listen to crap opinions like that.
Exactly.
Right on. Oh, that was funny, Joe. So, anyway, so Dennis, you mentioned that in 2001 you were in New York when the World Trade Center got hit.
Yeah, I was right
Wow.
there.
Were you there that day, Dennis?
I was.
Wow. I was there 2 weeks later.
Yeah, there's an account for it. For those who'd like to read it, here. Go, if you can put up with my ramblings, but yeah, that was written within less than a week. I want to say 3 days of that all taking place. So my memory then was pretty good. You know, there are a lot of pictures I wish I'd taken and so on, but you know what it is what it is, and so you know. But yeah, we were there, and our apartment was about 100 feet away from the World Trade Center. We were on the 26th
Wow.
floor, faced that site, right? So we could stand on our balcony and look kind of down, and we're looking at that site. And so a lot of I took a lot of video from there. When President I can't think now. George, when President Bush was there, I could actually see him from our apartment. We could actually see him, you know, with assistance, you know, with eye binoculars or whatever. But yeah, it was kind of fascinating. But yeah, we're right there.
Wow.
When it got hit, I was on the street both times. The first time I was walking to work, and the second time I was walking to work. Between times I had gone back to, because my wife was there, and she'd just come to America in 2000, in late 2000, right? So she'd only been in the United States for a short time, and so I was I just went back to make sure that she was okay. And we didn't know what was going on, right? Nobody knew what was going on until the second building got hit. Then we had suspicions, but the first one was just like an accident, right? So anyway, and I also wanted to see what the news reports had to say about it. But so I turned on the TV and I spent probably about 20 minutes there, and then started walking back to work again, and then the second building got hit. Both times I was not that far away, walking toward 55 Water Street.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you probably heard that plane come zooming in.
The second one, the second one was right overhead, and the guy in front of me hit the dirt. He was like, you know, I mean, he actually face down, arms spread. He thought he was, you know, in big trouble. But it was loud, you know, but it wouldn't make me do that. But he actually did, you know.
Wow.
The first one, it was like a not distant necessarily, but like an accident, you know, like maybe a truck hitting something big, but not that close. It was just a dull bang, I guess. But the second one, yeah, right overhead.
Hey, I want to welcome Joe Fodolio and King FPV.
Yeah.
Welcome to the chat.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah. Dennis, maybe I'll have to share my PowerPoint presentation with you sometime. I did.
Cool.
Yeah. I was there the beginning of like the second week. I was there for 6-7 days, remember?
Oh, were you as an emergency rescue guy? Wow.
Yeah.
Our paths crossed and we never even knew it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I still remember, you know, when we were coming across the, was it the Verrazano or whatever? Then I was looking at the New York skyline, like, oh, this is different, you know. And the weird thing is that I flew by the World Trade Center at midnight on 9/10. We used to land on 30th and 60th Street helipad on the Hudson, and we picked up. We had a hospital in Philadelphia that we had a contract with, and we went up and picked one of their executives within Presbyterian Hospital. He wanted to come back to his own hospital, but we went up and picked him up. And I just remember the Hudson was our flight route. We always had to follow that Pacific helicopter route. And I just remember looking and, oh yeah, there's World Trade Center. Wow. That had to be unbelievable. Yeah, if you were right there, wow.
Yeah. We didn't. I mean, it didn't give me any more insight than it would have been if I'd been in California or whatever, you know. But it was an experience to be there. But I think the thing that struck me most, the thing I remember most about all of that was when we eventually they evacuated our building, right? Because there was a lot of ash that landed on the building and all the balconies and so on. And anyway, they evacuated our building, and that walk from there to the river to the water anyway was it was dead quiet. This is downtown New York City, you know, and there were a few people around, but it's like almost nobody. And you know, you're just walking along. This is downtown New York. It was really hard to reconcile that with the environment that we were seeing. There was ash, you know, laying on everything. The ground couldn't be seen because of the ash. Wow. But yeah, that was the thing that I still remember to this day, is how dead quiet it was.
Wow.
We'd been through days of sirens going constantly and jets flying overhead and this and that. You know, the only jets in the sky, of course, at that time were military.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
They were moving fast and low, right? So, but you know, that plus otherwise complete silence was just eerie to me.
You know, I can relate to that. I told you that, you know, we flew medical supplies to the Pentagon. And, you know, being in the Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. airspace, normally you can hear the aviation radios. There's like 100 pilots talking on different, you know, air traffic controllers, but it was dead silent.
Well, it took what? It took the FAA 4 hours.
Yep, to land every plane.
To clear the skies.
Yeah, I just saw a documentary about a week ago on that.
Is that all? 4 hours?
Yeah.
I think so. I think it was. I may be wrong on that, but
no, I think you're right.
I'm pretty sure it was 4 hours.
My goodness.
Landed.
Wherever you are you going to land now, huh?
And they showed something on TV. I remember watching it on TV, and they did a time lapse, and they had this map, and it had every flight in the air during that time period.
Right.
And when the order was given for all planes to land wherever they could, you could just start seeing the little dots start to disappear.
My goodness.
Until there was nothing except dots.
I don't think I'd ever heard that
in military planes.
I know they cleared the skies, but I don't think I'd heard how quickly they got that accomplished. That's pretty amazing when you think about it.
Yeah, it is. Hey, JDS. Steve Knowles, good morning.
Hi, JDS.
Yeah, my one buddy was a pilot for Delta, and their hub was Atlanta. And he said they were getting ready for takeoff. And,
oh, wow.
He was flying, I think 747s or 57s, but they were taxiing out, and then when everything got shut down, they were stuck on the runway, and everything got so backed up. He said they were out there for something like 8 hours, so they finally were able to get the plane back to the
yeah, I cannot imagine that.
Yeah.
Be a busy place like Atlanta.
So, but yeah, and then I remember the Saturday following all that, when they reopened the air and started allowing planes to fly, I went and got on a plane. It was a 777,
Oh, wow.
and
Mm.
there was 5 people in coach.
Yeah. 20 years ago, the 777 was really new, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and there was 5 people in coach, and there was maybe 8 people in first class.
Wow.
And people at work were asking me. I was flying to Dallas Fort Worth, and people were asking me, "Well, aren't you worried about getting on a plane now?" I said, "No." I said, "That's exactly what they want. That's exactly what they want us to do.
Mm.
Yeah.
They want us to be afraid, and I refuse to be afraid." Well, what if
Yep.
somebody? Well, then we're going down because I ain't gonna. I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna fight. I just ain't gonna sit there and take it. And we got on this plane, and there was this one person from his he was an Indian, from Asia,
Uh-huh.
Indian, and I don't know if he might have been a U.S. citizen or whatever, but this lady that was sitting across from me, and we all pretty much had aisles to ourselves,
Yeah.
and she leans over, she pointed at the guy, she goes, "Do you think we should be worried?" I said, "Nah." I said, "There's nothing to worry about, And she goes, "Oh, it's going to be fine. Don't worry about it, man. It is what it is, right?" And so we flew into Atlanta. I have now Atlanta on any normal day is busy. I mean, it's usually packed on a normal
Mhm.
day,
Yeah.
but on that day, it was crazy. Remember, one of the recent shows I talked about going into the smoking area in Atlanta Airport,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
and it was
Yeah.
practically standing room only.
Right.
That was that Saturday, actually.
Oh my goodness.
There were people. I sat next to a guy on the plane to Dallas that was stuck in Amsterdam. He was getting ready to leave Amsterdam. His like you said, Ron, his plane was on the tarmac getting ready to take off when they shut everything down. So he was stuck in Amsterdam. He was over there on business. And I'm like, well, that's, kind of a cool place to get stuck.
Place to get stuck. Yeah.
And he goes,
Depending on
"Yeah,
the visa situation.
not really, because I couldn't do anything because of my job."
Right.
Well,
Well, you know what Amsterdam's known
Yeah.
for.
no,
But he said, "But I can't do anything because of my job." And I go, "Well, I guess it wasn't that bad, huh?" So anyway, we talked, and he goes, "It was just so unreal." And coming back, the flight back took 10 hours.
For Amsterdam, that should be about 6. Yeah.
Yeah, normally it would be about 6, but they had to make a stop somewhere along the way. I forget where he said they had to stop, and they were stuck there for like 4 hours. And
Wow.
then he flew into Atlanta.
Mm.
But it was just a weird day that day. It really was. And I don't think there's any plane that wasn't packed.
I remember the first time I flew flew commercially, but I was in Wichita, Kansas, and visiting my brother, and I had every piece of camera gear that I owned with me because I was filming the animal park that he worked at. Well, the next day, I had a wedding, so I had all my camera gear because I used to be a wedding photographer. And I remember being in Wichita Airport, and I had a Pelican box. Well, the moron at the TSA, he flipped my Pelican box over to open it up and check it. I'm like, no. I said, you need to turn it over. I said, you open it like that, everything's going to fall out. He's like, sir, you need to step back. And I'm like, no, you need to open it up properly. And he came at me a second time. He's like, sir, you need to get back. And then all of a sudden, I felt this large hand grab a hold of my shoulder and yank me back. And I turned around and looked, and then I had to look up. There was like this 9-foot National Guardsman saying, sir, you need to step back.
Yes, sir. How far, sir?
So I stepped back, and I just remember looking at that TSA guy. I said, go ahead and open it like it is. And I said, I will see to it that you guys pay for every piece of equipment I own. There's thousands of dollars in there. And I said, all I ask is that you flip the box over properly so things won't fall out. And I said, take all day to look through it. I don't care. But just open the box properly. And the guy finally complied. But, yeah.
Yeah. Even to this day, I think that those TSA people, and I understand they have a job to do, but they don't need to be so rude about doing it.
No.
And there's I mean, and I don't experience it that much, but there was one guy I was flying. I had batteries in my backpack, and he pulled it. He set it aside, and and I'm like, well, what's the problem? He goes, I got to check your bag. It took 15 minutes for him to finally check my bag.
Oh, wow.
I was so mad, but that wasn't entirely his fault, though, because he was trying to get someone to come look at it. But there was another time when the person was just flat out rude.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, there's no call for that. But
Yeah.
I see it all the time. It's a power thing in for some people.
exactly. But anyway, but for the most part, I will say that for the most part, most of them are just trying to do their job the best they can, and
Oh, yeah.
We I think it was a week or two before we were actually. I was flying in helicopters back in Pennsylvania. It was a week or two before we were allowed to fly, and I remember once we were able to start, every morning the pilot had to call in to the FAA, identify himself, our aircraft, our tail number, all the crew members, their social security numbers, birth date. I mean, all this information, where we were located. And then if we got an emergency 911 call, to go out on a car accident or something, we had to call back in, because what the FAA would do is they gave us a squawk code. That was your squawk code for the day to put into your transponder.
Oh, wow.
And then if we actually got a mission, we had to call in again. It took 15 minutes for us to get off the ground, because we had to make that phone call and go through all that information and everything again. I remember one day, I'll never forget this. We were in Atlantic City. I'm into Philadelphia, and everything's going fine. This is like 2 weeks after 9/11, 2-3 weeks, and everything's still pretty strict. And we land at Thomas Jefferson Hospital, which is a big level 1 trauma center, spinal cord injury center in Center City, Philadelphia. Everything's going great. We get there, we land. My partner and I go downstairs. We deliver the patient. We come back up to the roof, and the pilot stays up on the roof. In the normal circumstance, we could actually start up and just slightly go off to the north just a little wee bit and stay right on the edge of what they used to call it the controlled airspace or PCA. And normally we could just do that and then start heading back towards the west to go home, because it was a 20-minute ride home. And we start up, we pick up, we leave. All of a sudden the controller comes on the radio to our pilot, and says 649 Mike Sierra. He said, "You've left Jefferson Hospital. You do not have permission." Our pilot responds back and says, "We still have the same squawk code. We're westbound. We're headed back out to Chester County to our base." And that controller come back on very strictly and said, "You do not have permission to take off from Jefferson Hospital. You will return or you will risk being shot down."
Wow.
Looked over at the pilot and I'm like, "You mind turning around?" We know, I mean, we were literally just a minute off the hospital. We turned around and we came back, we landed, we sat there and we're still running. He goes, "I don't know what's going to happen next." Literally, Rodney, I ain't kidding you, 15 seconds later, I think it was about a mile or so out, but 2 A-10s were at a high bank coming whipping through the city over by the river, over by the Delaware. Oh my God. Those guys shoot down tanks.
Yeah, 810.
Then the controller come on, the 649 Mike's here. You have permission to take off. I'm like, "Are you sure?"
Tell those other guys too.
Yeah. Let them know.
Yeah, do those guys know that?
Well, I don't know. I guess the A-10 can carry air-to-air missiles, but and maybe that 30 millimeter Gatling gun might be useful in an aerial shot, but
I'm sure whatever they had, we were going to lose.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah. Either way, you guys were done. But
yeah. Were you still in the military at the time, Rodney?
No. I was. I retired in 92, 1992. So I'd been out for what, 9 years, almost 10. So.
Peter, what did you do during your lifetime?
I worked for Ford Motor Company. That was the only job I ever had. Straight out of school, and was there for 36 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Mainly in the sort of purchasing and procurement area. They called it material planning and logistics. That was involving getting making sure the production plant had enough parts to build all the cars and didn't run out of anything. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was a pretty hectic job at times.
Yeah.
I bet it was. Hey, Mr. Crowley.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah, I remember when that happened. I forget where I was at. I think I was at home watching TV, and they broke into the news, and then they broke in with a special report, and then I started watching it, and I saw the second plane hit, and then they announced that the Pentagon had got hit, and I got a call from the base, and the base had gone to the highest force protection level, which means nobody was getting on or off.
Right.
That I was to report to the company office when I came to work, unless otherwise told. And I just remember being glued in front of the TV the whole day.
How long was it between that second building in New York and the Pentagon? Do you remember?
I want to say it wasn't too long.
I was thinking like 3 to 5 hours, something like that, but I don't remember.
No, I think it was. I can look it up real quick.
I felt it was like 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
because
again, I don't. I'm glad I wrote that stuff that I wrote when I did, because if I were to try to write it now, it would be about that long. I was there. I saw it.
Kat, you're going to have to move.
You both have.
Yeah, we both got the same problem. I'm being terrorized here.
You are. I noticed that.
Being terrorized by a tiny ginger cat.
But by experts, by the way. This is what they do. the whole family. Yeah. All the way back to history.
September 11th, American Airlines
It was
flight.
late night for me.
Well, it doesn't really give me the time.
I've got the picture of the Pentagon on my phone here. Go through 1,000 pictures here trying to find it.
Okay, it said it's saying here in the meantime, Flight 77, which was the flight that hit the Pentagon, traveled undetected back towards Washington for 36 minutes. At 9:32, air traffic controllers at Dulles found an unidentified aircraft traveling east at a high speed rate of speed and notified their compatriots at Reagan National Airport.
Okay. Lance Cadenas does.
But that's at 9:32, and it slammed into. It hit the. Okay, at 9:34, the flight 77 was 5 miles southwest of the Pentagon. It executed a sharp turn and quick descent and dove toward the Pentagon, slamming into it at 9:37. So
3 minutes to go 5 miles. It wasn't going very fast, huh?
Huh?
It took 3 minutes to go 5 miles. That doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so I was wrong about that. It was a very short time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to go, folks. I'm going to. I said I'm going to make juice I got to get our day started here. So,
Okay.
All righty. Well,
that
was our view going.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's quite a shot.
Mm.
That's quite a shot. Yeah. We all, I'm sure we all have stories of that day. So.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for having me on, Rodney. Great to see you folks. Everybody,
you're welcome, Dennis.
Nice to spend time with you. But, must come to an end.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
next
you have a good day, brother. Tell your wife I said hi.
Hello, Brett. Hello, Brett.
Hey, Brett. He's damn. But yeah, we're not talking about football. No, we're not.
Hello, Brett.
Sorry to disappoint, Brett.
Yep.
We can talk about Australian football if you want, and I probably won't say anything. But if we start talking about American football, we'll have to shut the show down. I don't watch American football just like I don't watch American baseball, not unless it's minor leagues or little league.
All right, mate. I'm gonna rub it in soon.
So.
Yes.
Anyway, so Ron, what you got planned for today?
Going into work here in a few minutes.
A new job?
No, I'm still in North Dakota.
Oh,
this is my last rotation.
Oh, okay.
They granted me part-time status, or what they call PRN, but I don't know how well it's going to work out. This place is falling apart. We just lost another pilot. We're down 2 pilots and 2 paramedics. And one of the nurses the other day was getting around about leaving.
Wow.
Right now, we actually have a nurse out on medical leave till the end of September. So our staffing right now is absolutely terrible.
Well, what's going on that's making people leave?
The pilots, it's the pay. Both paramedics, myself and my buddy, it's the distance.
The what?
He and his wife are building a brand new house down in southern South Dakota.
Oh,
there was a job opportunity 5 minutes from his house. My job is, 30 minutes from my house versus 4.5 hours. The pilot is pay, and the bean counters just don't seem to get it. How do they say a penny smart, a dollar? I forget how that saying goes, but if they would pay the pilots what they're worth, when you sit and think about, okay, yeah, you're paying your pilots low, and you're getting money, but when the pilots quit or they can't hire good people, and we're missing so many flights per day, the money you lose there,
Yeah.
So, but they have granted me PRN status. But if there's like tomorrow, they don't have one of the pilots. They only have one pilot available, so the aircraft is out of service. So, if there's a lot of those shifts like that the aircraft's out of service, how am I going to be able to come up and work PRN? Probably 90% of the shifts up here are going to be what they call hardship shifts. In other words, they can't find people to fill them. So if somebody does, you get time and a half. So anytime I would come up here would be a time and a half, which is pretty good money. But I don't know how it's going to go. The thing that worries me is there's a lot of specific requirements for this particular job. Certain classes I have to have. I just don't know if I'll be able to upkeep them,
Yeah.
So, at the very least, I'd like to maybe get in a couple more fixed wing shifts, a couple more helicopter shifts, and slowly back out. And just say, hey, it's been a great ride. Another good landing you can walk away from.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll see. Yeah, I'm nervous. So I went to I was in HR the other day. Oh my. Jesus.
You were where?
I was in HR at the new job the other day.
Oh, okay.
I had to go in there and sign some paperwork and everything. And I'm like, oh my, I wouldn't mind being in trouble once in a while. There are some honeys where jeez. And if I wasn't risking the job, it's like, oh my, hello, how you doing? Ooh. But yeah, I'm a little intimidated, a little nervous. This is not your normal ambulance service. They are putting me through some rigorous training. First day is, the HR paperwork and all the normal stuff they go through. But then after that, they said I'm going to be going to the OR, do training in there. I'm going to be going to the intensive care unit, training in there.
Oh, wow.
And then go to what they call their academy, and it's classroom stuff for a while. They put you through a couple weeks of classroom, so that they don't mess around. One advantage I have is their three big pieces of equipment are the same thing that I have here, so I'm not going to need training. I could probably help teach them. So,
Well, that's good.
But it's going to be different going to the streets again full time. Even, and some people may not believe this, but the little town of Gillette, Wyoming, is a major drug capital. There's a lot of drugs there.
Wow.
There's some good share of riffraff. So, some of the medics that I was talking to one the other day said you might want to invest in a vest. I still have mine from my other job, so I maybe going to work wearing a vest. Saved my life once before. But, we'll see.
Yeah, that's sad, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's sometimes a lot of times you're for the most part you're okay if you know how to handle and conduct yourself. You go into certain areas. You know, you don't go in there being, and I've seen it. I've seen these young medics go in there kind of cocky, and you can't be doing that. You know, you got to learn. There's what's the word? Etiquette, so to speak. You go into some of these neighborhoods or these projects, or as long as you conduct yourself and be respectful, in most cases you're okay. But you go in there, you know, half cocked and mouthy, and you know. I've used little techniques like, oh, you know, you can be in a set of projects and you look over and you know that's a bunch of gang members standing there, but you look over and I'm like, hey guys, they'll look over and say, can you give us a hand to quit, you know, for a second and help us lift? When you do stuff like that, they respect you, you know. But I've had a mouthy little medic one time that we went into a set of projects and he started mouthing off, and I almost threw him out of the ambulance. I said, good luck.
So do you have to wait until police arrive if you're called to a sort of dangerous situation? Do you sort of hold off till they arrive? Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of times we get dispatched for like shootings, stabbings, and the 911 center will have us respond up to like a block before the scene, and have us wait till police arrive. And then once the police get there and find out, you know, okay, it's clear for you guys to come in. In the town that I used to work at in Pennsylvania, even though the cops would be there first and we'd get cleared to come in, it was spooky, Peter. There was this one project. It was a set of cement buildings that was like almost an entire block long. And there were 3 entrances going up the hill. It was Chestnut, Walnut, and Harmony Street. And if you go up on Harmony, you'd pull in, drive down the street, and then you had to go down a big set of cement steps. And then you would walk up into the buildings themselves. And sometimes you would get there, it's like, and you'd see a blood trail. It's like, well, just follow the blood trail. I'll find it eventually. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, the good old days.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Rodney, maybe I sit and question myself now, how much longer really do I want to do this? You know, but I guess I got to look and see where I'm at financially. And, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's the big thing. You don't want to get yourself into a situation where you're not making enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I'm still healthy, and you know, I try to take good care of myself and work out and stay fit. But I notice each day it gets tougher. You know. We will see. Keep my fingers crossed. You know, hope for the best.
That's about all you can do.
Yeah.
Well, all righty, guys. I think I'm gonna go ahead and call this one.
Yep. No worries.
Okay, doke.
Well, it's good seeing all you guys.
All right, good to see you,
Good.
Yeah.
Peter. As always,
Yep.
good to see you and Dom, and it's good for Dennis. Dennis was able to get in here.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, Rodney, next Friday night, and Peter, too, I know you come on, Dominic. As long as everything works out okay, but I'm going to be the South Dakota correspondent, roaming reporter. I'm going to start this. And
Oh, okay.
I'll go on with Matt.
I'll have to. You said next
Friday.
Next Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah.
More than likely dream match show.
Mm. I heard it was a doozy last night.
Yeah. It did get pretty willing.
Willing. That's the way I put it.
I reckon there's going to be a bit cut out of it too.
Yeah. So, all right, Rodney. Well, thank you.
All right, Ron. You take care. You be safe if you're working.
Okay,
Yeah.
Peter, Dominic,
Bye, Ron.
in the chat. You guys have a good weekend.
You
Okay,
too.
thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right,
Peter?
bye Rodney, bye Dominic, and bye all in chat.
You
Yeah,
have a good one,
bye-bye.
brother.
So I'll see you next time.
Yep.
All righty then. Frank Rizzo, good morning, and
Good morning,
unfortunately, goodbye, brother. But glad you could at least pop in for a couple of seconds. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for being here. Do appreciate it. Don't forget tomorrow morning, Sunday sunrise cruise, starting with Drone Bum in New York, coming to me here in Virginia, and then to Dennis Lovelady in Georgia, and then on over to Texas with Chris Hope, and then Johnny Drone Flyer after Chris Hope with Drones and Coffee in Louisiana, I might add. So anyway, you all have a great weekend. We'll catch you on the next one. Love y'all. Bye now.